Hello everybody, Maven here, and I crafted every single Neomuna weapon in one day, and I'm going to show you how I did it. Now, a lot of YouTubers, including myself, have made a guide on the basics of this strat before, but in this video, I'm going to go into further detail on little tips and tricks you can do to speed up the process. So let's break it down. Don't forget to drop a like if it helps, and I hope you enjoy. All right, so you can do this farm solo. However, it is a lot faster if you have at least one teammate. I would highly recommend doing this with a friend. So starting off with the absolute basic knowledge, I'm sure you all know this, but for those who don't, we're going to be using the terminal overload button. And no, we're not going to be doing terminal overload, we're just using the button, because what this button does is it reloads the Neomuna world without having to go to orbit. It acts as if you did go to orbit, because if you just load the area back in from, say, this landing zone, it's not going to reset anything. The world's going to be the exact same. We want to reset the world so we can look for gold patrols. That's what we're doing here. All right, we loaded in. So here's how this guide is going to differ from other guides you've seen. Now, a lot of people tell you when you load in, check terminal overload, see if it's on stage 3. If it's on stage 3, go ahead and complete it to get free loot. And some people will say put wombo detector on your ghost, including myself. I said this in my last guide, put wombo detector on your ghost to detect, resources and chests, because they give you reputation along the way so that you can, go and reset Nimbus, because when you reset Nimbus, or when you rank up Nimbus, he'll give you a guaranteed Neomuna weapon. But I'm going to tell you right now, do not do that. It is not as quick as you want it to be. It is a lot quicker if you just focus on the task at hand, and that is getting these gold patrols, that one right there. That is what we're looking for. There is 2 different kinds of gold patrols here. There is this one, which is the bullseye complex, which just tells you to get 10 precision kills, which is very, very easy. And then there is the one that has a star icon. I mean, that one does have a star icon, but a bigger star icon. It's just going to tell you to go to an area and clear out a group of enemies. For this area, that's going to be that way. And I'll go more into detail about that in a second. Now, heroic patrols grant a guaranteed Neomuna weapon, and it is better to focus solely on this rather than activities like terminal overload and looting chests, which rank up Nimbus, because that is a lot slower. You just want to focus on these, and these alone do not stray from the path. Now, the reason why I said it is good to have at least one teammate to do this with is because when you load into that terminal overload zone, what you're going to do is you're going to go to the left, your teammate's going to go to the right, and you're going to check for gold patrols. You load in, you don't see one here, oh well, get on your Sparrow and start going to the next area. So I'm going to go over to the Zephyr concourse here while my supposed fire team member would be riding the Sparrow over to the Yahisma Park. Now, when you get there, go ahead and hold open your ghost, check to see if you see any gold patrols in the area. If you do not, you're going to type in chat, or whoever's the fire team leader, the other person's going to type in chat. So hold open my ghost, I don't see any gold patrols. If your teammate riding to Yahisma doesn't see any gold patrols, they're going to go into the fire team chat and type something like none. Or if you found a gold patrol in your zone, you're going to say something like here, and you go ahead and knock that out. And then after that's done, you just go ahead and refresh terminal overload zone, launch it, and do it again and again and again, rinse and repeat. And don't get distracted by terminal overload unless you specifically care about weapons like the Synchronic Roulette, the Circular Logic Machine Gun, or the Bossio Ostinato. If you don't care about any of these weapons, then just ignore terminal overload. And another tip I will give is that, so the terminal overload zone changes daily. So tomorrow it's going to be Zephyr. The day after that, it's going to be Yahisma. So if it happens to be in the Zephyr Concourse or Yahisma Park, and you are forced to have to ride over to Liming Harbor to check for heroic patrol, a time save you can do is, instead of riding your Sparrow there, you can simply fast travel to the landing zone to check for a heroic patrol. Now, I'm going to go over an ideal loadout to farm this with. So if you're good at eager edge skating, definitely put on an eager edge sword to help speed up the process. In the energy slot, or you could also swap the roles around here from energy to kinetic, but have like a fusion rifle or a shotgun or something that can slay out pretty quickly for the clear out the zone heroic patrols. And then for the bullseye complex heroic patrol, the one that says just get precision kills, I would use a sniper but keep something like a DMT or something on backup for when you run out of sniper ammo. And that's gonna be able to get those precision kills very easily. Now I wanted to go over some minor tips and tricks for the clear the area patrols. Now the one in the Liming Harbor is pretty straightforward. There's really no tips to give. The one in the Zephyr Concourse though, I'll show you a little tip. All right, so the clear the area patrol in the Zephyr Concourse is going to send you this way, and normally you would get off your Sparrow right here, but when you jump over these little things, you can get right back on your Sparrow. And that is going to help you buy some time. You can go ahead and just like Sparrow right over these things if you're quick enough, and that'll allow you to Sparrow through this area and get through it a lot quicker. All right, so for Ahisma Park's clear the area patrol, it's going to send you this way into this pyramid structure. You're going to have to get off your Sparrow here, unfortunately. I tried to find ways to, you know, break the boundaries and get your Sparrow up here, but the Eager Edge Sword helps for just speeding this up here. Now, getting through this area is a little bit tricky when you're going through the campaign for the first time. However, there is a way to kind of break the boundaries of it, and I'll show you right here. When you get to this part, get your Eager Edge Sword ready, and go ahead and glide right here, and Eager Edge right up this ledge. Just you don't have to go down there. You can just skip it right up to here, and that'll put you right where you need to go, because this is the objective area. So you can pretty much do a little skip right there with the Eager Edge Sword, or just Icarus dashing. And when you get here, this is why you should have like a fusion rifle or a shotgun, so you can clear out these ads really, really quickly. Or, you know, Bonk Titan's really good too. I farmed this on Titan. I would highly recommend Titan, but to each their own. And now one last little extra tip that may not apply to everyone, but if the last red borders you need are the Iterative Loop or the Round Robin, a way you can get the last pattern that you need, if you're desperate, absolutely desperate, is that Nimbus will give you a quest. I don't have the quest anymore, but it's called like From Zero. And then there's another quest he gives you after you complete that one called To Hero. And those will give you a guaranteed red border, Iterative Loop, or Round Robin if you're just desperate for that last red border. Now, I would say that farming this from scratch, assuming that you have no red borders at all, would take you about 6 hours. You know, pick a day. If it's, you know, your day off work, have a nice farm sesh with a buddy, throw on some YouTube videos, some music, a movie, a podcast, or whatever, and just get to farming. Focus on the heroic patrols, don't get distracted, and keep on rinsing and repeating that terminal overload zone. It'll be done in no time. So that is going to do it for the video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it helped. If it did, be sure to hit the like button and drop a comment, because interacting with the video in those kinds of ways really helps it out, helps the algorithm. And if you're new here, consider subscribing. Would love to have you here. And with that, I'll catch you in the next video. Later.